And we're back again. This time we're going to fit the TV on the wall. It's a rather large TV. Making sure it's fixed strong, making sure it's secure, and hopefully don't drop the TV. It's been in the spare room for about 7 months, ever since we moved in. Plan was, or is, remove the fireplace, fit a media wall, but that's a gas fire. It's not on the top of the priority list, so yeah, let's get cracking. First job, remove all this. Used a hammer, 13mm, a 10 and a 12mm drill bit, screwdriver, a couple of packs of fixings that I got from B&Q, I'll link them in the description, a spirit level, a drill and a tape measure. And there's the old TV bracket which I'm hoping we can reuse. We'll go grab the TV, it's quite heavy, which is here. Done. I think first thing we need to do is plug it in and make sure it works. Because like I said, it's been stored for quite a while. The moment of relief when it powers on. Now it's powered on. We need to get the centre point on the wall ready for mounting the bracket. So we'll do it horizontally and then vertically, and then find the centre point. I didn't have a pen to hand, so I used a screwdriver. Works just as well. When I took the bracket down, I thought it'd be a good idea to save the fixings. Only thing is there's no wall plugs with the bolts, so they're useless. When we first bought the bracket a few years ago, it came with a small spirit level, so we've had to use the big one. Obviously I didn't keep it. This is probably the most important part, making sure that the bracket's level. Although there is a tiny bit of adjustment on the bracket, there's not much. I thought I'd best quickly check what the actual material is. At first I thought it was a stud wall, but it's not. It's dot and dab plasterboard. So there's maybe, well, there's plasterboard debris. Basically all I'm doing now is drilling the holes the same depth as the wall plugs. Using the 12mm drill bit. Also being very careful when drilling, because I don't actually know what's behind here. Probably nothing, but you never know, it could be a cable or a pipe or something. So by going slow, you can sort of feel out what's behind there.
The fixings we're going to use are these M12 coach bolt style bolts and plugs. Look pretty robust. And we've got 5. Quite long. I'm confident they're going to hold. So first off, start with putting the plugs in. And then just tap them in with a hammer. Making sure they're flush with the wall. And then put the TV bracket up and put the bolts in. I did cheat, I nipped out to B&Q and bought some sockets to put on the drill. It was going to take all day with the spanner, so, and there was only 5. The bolts are a 13mm socket, in case you decide to do the same. Just need to make sure not to over tighten them, because you could end up pulling the plug out. But also at the same time they need to be tight. The bracket, it retracts out maybe 2 foot. At first I was sceptical that it wouldn't hold the weight of the TV, but it actually does. We don't really need this type of bracket, but it's what we've got. We used it at the last house because we had a media wall and it allowed us to have access to the back of the TV. So there was no point going and buying a new one. Just going to nip them up slightly with the spanner. Half a turn or so. Eventually there will be another video on building a media wall. As you can see, it's taken my weight, so I'm about 90 kilos. I'm fairly certain the TV is probably less than 40. Double check it's level. Perfect. Now for this next bit, you're probably best with an extra person. At the time I didn't have anybody to help lift the TV, so you just need to hook it onto the bracket.
This is probably a 2-person job, but there it goes.
Which I found the hard way. It needed to get to the other side.
Pull this out more.
This bit was definitely quite awkward, but still doable, so it can be done with one person. It goes without saying, don't drop it. and it's on. There's just 2 screws holding it onto the frame. They just want tightening up with a flathead or Phillips. And as you can see, there's no bow, and it's strong and secure. Now time to test it out. When we go ahead with the media wall, we'll fit some sockets behind the telly so there's no cable. For now, the cable's there. And we have video. If you've liked the video, please hit the like button, maybe subscribe. Wait for the next one.